Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the subscription-only version of the ASVAB math section. I'm your lovely host, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring, trying to do a little bit of something different, but at the same time, something knowledgeable. So if you are planning on taking the ASVAB, and what I'm doing now is trying to take a deeper dive, especially with the questions that you'll see on ASVAB for Dummies. So if you have the book and you're just like, okay, I see all the breakdown, but that still means nothing to me. Like, how was I supposed to know that I'm supposed to do this, that, and the other thing? This is what I'm here to do, just to kind of help you break these concepts down. So the section that we're going to look at right now is the math knowledge and the operation practice questions. And it basically deals with a lot with the basic math that you will usually see. Operation practice questions. And it basically deals with a lot with the basic math that you will usually see. Okay. You guys see me? Okay. The devil is a liar. We're going to get this knowledge today. We are going to get this knowledge today. My goodness. Well, I'm still loading on my computer, but yeah. So reading comments is going to be a slight challenge, but we're going to keep it moving. This is life. This is life. All right. Well, thank you guys for staying on. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Okay. So, if anything, we are going to basically look at a lot of the math knowledge questions, breaking it down step by step, which is going to be awesome. All right. So, the very first one. Let me see if we can zoom in and you can see. All right, so for our first one, we're going to solve for the x's mean multiplication. All right, so we just have to get with that. Okay, well, I can read comments that way. Okay, yeah, the first one's definitely not 90. Well, thank you for saying that. All right, so we either have 54, 14, 18, or 28. Okay, so you got 90, okay? You got C, you have 18. Let's see if this will do it. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, now I can see everybody's comments. So I got a couple of 18s, C. We have a C. IDK says 28. No PEMDAS? Yes, PEMDAS. Definitely. This is the first one that's going to be order of operation. Okay, so Secret Admirer saying C. Okay, we're going with that follow. All right. So now we have that. Let's break it on down. First, we're going to have our please, excuse, my dear, from left to right, and Sally, from left to right. So we have to do what's inside the parentheses. So I have a feeling like if I zoom it, you'll see it again. So we have 4 times 3, that gives us our 12. Okay? And we're going to multiply that by 3 minus 6 times 9 divided by 3. So 9 divided by 3 will give me 3. So now we took care of the parentheses. There isn't any exponents. So we just need math. We just need multiplying or dividing from left to right. So that means we are going to combine these two. So 12 times 3, that gives me my 36. 6 times 3, that gives me my 18. Okay. No, you're not slow. Stop saying that. Okay? It's probably been a minute since you've seen stuff like this. So we got this. And then 36 minus 18, that will give us our 18. Okay, so yes, it is PEMDAS. Okay, so when we kind of do that, yay! Okay, all right, can we call a friend? You can always call a friend. But make sure they know math though. Because you know we all have that one trifling ass friend. The one that, gets us in trouble but still bails us out when they come around. All right, so let's do number 2. Let me shrink that down just a hair. All right, a lot. All right, which of the following fractions is the largest? And I know right away, a lot of people are like, yep, I shut down. Give it a try. See what you get. You can put a guess up there. I'll be perfectly fine with that. And if you don't know it, you can put a question mark. But try it before you put the question mark. Okay? All right. So Mimi was telling me 11/16. Okay. Hello, Lulu. Okay. Amber is saying D 3/4. Okay. Ma saying C. Okay. IDK saying D. Okay. Mimi with a C. Okay. Bobby with a 3/4. David with an A. Double L with a D. Okay. I don't know. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. D. Okay. Hot Mama's saying 3. Okay. Is that Haley with the D? New investment B. Casper D. Disco is saying D. Okay. So, for all my people, there we go. Everwood saying 3/4. Okay, Jean with a D. I hate Pogs. How are you? It's been a minute. Saying D. Double L with an A. Dangan with an A. Mo with a D. Husker D. Okay, Kelly A. All right, so let's take a look at this. When you see fractions, if we think about it, we can actually divide them out. Now, when it comes to the ASVAB, you can't have a calculator. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I could just put it in the calculator and just figure it out. Yeah, you can. But if anything, if I have, 2/3. So 2/3, that means 1/3 is going to be missing. So I'm going to have a repeat of something. So I'm going to have a repeat of the 6s, right? So 2/3, if I divide it, that will give me 0.6, and the 6s keep repeating. 3/4, I always think of quarters. Anytime there is a 4 in the denominator, I always think of quarters. So 3 out of 4 quarters. So last time I know the 3 out of 4 quarters, that's 75 cents. So 5/8, this is the same as going to be like 0.625, because it has my 5 in there. If I divide it out, this 11/16, you would think, okay, but it's still in the 6th family. It's not quite up to the 7s. So it's like 0.6825, I think. No, 75. Sorry, too much mental math. Okay. So if you are able to do the divisions of these, you will figure out that 3/4 is definitely going to be the largest of them. Okay? Exactly, my mind. Just divide. Yep, just divide. But when you're doing anything with practice for ASVAB, GED, any of those assessments, make sure you practice without using a calculator, because you're not going to have access to the calculator. Maybe SAT you do, there's certain parts that you have, but not the whole thing. So when you do these, you're going to have to learn to do it manually. All right, so for 3, here we go. Which of the following is expressed as an improper fraction? So I'm seeing a whole bunch of I Love Lucy, Joel Beth, Anti, Mary, David, my little harp symbol. Okay. Yep. A is definitely a mixed number. Anti, good. All right. For my best life, is saying D. No, you saying B. Marv said D. Okay, Ace B. The one and only A. Got a whole bunch of B's. All right, so when it's an improper fraction, that means your numerator has to be bigger than your denominator. For part A, this is a mixed number. Okay, so we're actually later on tonight at 6 p.m. We're actually going to be doing, for our free sessions, we're going to be doing adding and subtracting fractions. And we're going to also involve mixed numbers. So if you want to come back for that, you can come back for that. So 1/2, notice here, even though there are larger numbers, but look, this is 345, this is 346. This is still smaller than this. Only option we got is B. Okay, so they're testing to see, do you know what an improper, know that definition? All right, number 4, continue the pattern. Okay, continue the pattern. Oh, Gene. Hey, Lynette. Oh, it's early for you. All right, so I'm getting a whole lot of B's. Good, we got Marv, we got Trudy. Yes. Is it Alicia? Then we got Laurel, so the D. Haley with a B, some stars. So the B, all the D. Zoe, B. That's B. Okay, I hate Pogs, B. Yes. So that's exactly what it is. So take a look. So we have 5, then a 10, then a 9. A 15, a 20, and a 19. So 5 plus 5 gives me 10, minus 1 gives me 9. Then 5 plus 5 minus 1. So if it's 25, what will be the next digit? The next digit, is it going to be 30s or is it going to be 26s? That doesn't really make sense here. So C's and D's already eliminated. Okay, we always want to do what's called the process of elimination with these. But then if we know we went from 5, adding 5 to give me 30, then we will subtract 1. So if we subtract 1, we're not going to get to 35. We're actually going to get to 29. Okay? So sometimes it just takes a minute to stop, kind of like, let me take a look. All right? There you go. Stop edging me. Oh, you feel cringe? So early in the morning. All right. Okay. Oh, we got a whole bunch of them, Jelly Bean. A whole bunch of them. All right. Take a look at number 5. So right now, a lot of this is for the ASVAB. Okay. And they go by series. But a lot of these concepts can be used for GED, obviously the ASVAB, TEAS tests, IBEW, okay, even acuplacer as well. So, have a sea of A's, which is lovely. Okay, we have a sea, a whole bunch of A's, A's, A's. Okay. All right. I love it. It seems like everybody is right on the same path. Now, here's one way. It all depends on how you did it. We didn't have to multiply these two. Okay? If you sat there and like, okay, 27.65 times 30. Yeah, we don't have to do all that. Here's the shortcut. Ready? When you multiply, we don't have to line up our decimals like you do for addition or subtraction. When you multiply, you count how many places you got. So if I take a look, I have 2 places here, and I have 1 decimal place here. So that means my answer should have 3 decimal places. C has 4. That's crazy. D has 1. That's nuts. So now we need to take a look at these two. So once we get it down to the process of elimination, now let's try to estimate. If I round up, so 28 will be representing this number, and 31 will be representing this number. So if I got my 28, because I do 1 times 8, 1 times 2. To get my 3 times table is 3 times 8, that's 24. Carry over my 2, 3 times 2, that's 6, plus 2, that is 8. So we have 868. So which one, even though, remember, we rounded up, so we want a number that's slightly below this. And the only one of the two that's slightly below is going to be A. Okay? Does that make sense? All right? It's a lot faster when you can do that process of elimination. So sorry. Let me slide over. Okay? So all you did, 1, check out your decimal places. This has 2 decimal places. This has 1. So your answer should have, which we will, have 3 decimal places. That's how you can do your elimination. So C and D was out. So now round up so you can get to a number that's close to one of these 2 answers. Once you round up and you stayed the same, you did the multiplication, you got 868. And then you try to find the answer that's closest but lower than 868. Because remember, the 28, we rounded up. All right? And then 5, right? Solve this. Great. Okay? Yep, and you can also do that too, Zach. Because if you did that multiplying with the 3 and the 5, you get a 5, and the only one that ends in 5 is A. There you go. All right. So, for number 6, what do we got? 1/4 times 2/3. Okay. Much easier, right, sunshine? I know, right? Okay. All right, so 1/4 times 2/3. Is it 3/4? Is it 1/4, 1/6, or 1/3? Okay, so I got a bunch of C's. So we have our John, I hate Pogs. It's like Marquise, not sure. Def Robin. Hinchman. The names you guys have. Jesus. All right. We got the Godfather. All right. Hey, Kaya. Welcome in. All right. So, now, here's my thing, and someone mentioned it. Okay, Alicia. So we're not going to cross multiply, and we're actually going to cross simplify. All right, so there is a difference. When they have a multiplication symbol in between, we're actually going to cross simplify. So if you notice, here with the 2 and the 4, they both have 2's in common. So 2 divided by 2, that will give me a 1. 4 divided by 2, that will give me a 2. So now what you have left is 1/2 times 1/3. And when we know about multiplying fractions, we can just multiply straight across. So you'll have your 1/6. Answer choice C. Okay? When there's equal signs in between, that's when you're cross multiplying. When there is a multiplication symbol in between, that's when you're cross simplifying. You're making it smaller. Okay? Cross multiplying, you're making it larger. Cross simplify, making it smaller. Okay? Questions? Because when you cross multiply, you're making it bigger. Okay? You could just multiply straight across and then simplify. You can do that too. Guys, there's more than one way. I'm not even going to say about cats. There's more than one way of getting the same answer. Okay? Daddy, how? Just how? Okay? All right? Okay? So, going through number 7. Okay? Another situation. What would you get? It's more easier? There you go, Miss Loyal. And see, here's my thing. There's always more than one way to solve for answers. Now, for people that are probably new to my platform, if you're just like, hey, I really want to get to know this, and I got the answer really, really fast. I'm the type of person that I'm gearing towards the people that really struggle with math and are always told that they suck at math, and they believed it. So I wanted to break that belief. Okay? So right now, I do these little sessions to help out certain sections. So right now, it's just going to be for the ASVAB. These are considered those easy math knowledge questions. Okay? So these are just the foundational questions. If you can get these questions, you should be like in the late teens, early 20s when it comes to the grading. All right? So again, a lot of the A's. I love it. So do I do business math? Not really. Okay. Linear inequalities. Yep, I can do the shading. Yep, you're lost at this. All right, so here we go. So when I look on the cross, again, the dot means multiplication. So on the cross, 2 and 5 and 1 and 3, they only have 1's in common. Okay, greatest common factors. So since I can't cancel that like I did last time, multiply straight across. So 1 times 2 gives me 2. 5 times 3 gives me 15. So the only thing that 2 and 15 have in common is 1. That means I can't simplify it anymore. That's why your answer is going to be A. All right? Nice, easy, don't need to be high strung, to the point. Okay? So, let's try 8. So we have 3 divided by 3/4. Is the answer 2 and 1/4? Is the answer 4, 3 and 3/4, or 5? Okay, one moment. I'll do that, Lucas. Give me a moment. Yeah, I'll put it back up there, Lucas. Just give me a moment for this one, okay? All right, so I'm seeing some B's. As I was saying 4, the denominator stays the same. So we have I hate pugs with B's, Pearl, P, B, P, Turin, B, okay, Ma, B, Tay, D, Carla, B, Libby, B. It's like Kendall Hart, A. Okay, there's no S. Man, troll central. Keep, change, flip, that's what we can do. Okay, so I'm seeing some C's, I'm seeing some B's, I'm seeing some A's. All right, so at least we all know we're not going to give D any love. Okay, Lucas, ready? Okay, taking it off in a second, Lucas. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. No problem. Okay, so for 8, we have a whole number divided by a fraction. Now, anytime we see that, my girl Kaya said it right, we're going to do what's called keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep the whole number of 3, but we're actually going to make it into a fraction if we need to. We're going to keep this. We're going to change that division sign to multiplication symbol. And we're going to flip that 3/4. So it's going to look like this. You're going to have 3 times 4 over 3. All right? Even if we put it over 1, that'll be fine. Now, cross simplify. 3 divided by 3, that gives us 1. And then what's left is 4 over 1, which is just simply 4. So anytime you're dividing, like a whole number with a fraction, think of keep, change, flip. Or keep, change, as some people do it. We used to do that same process with subtracting polynomials. Because if I write it like, let me slide over for a second. But if I write it out like this, 3 divided by 3/4. That looks crazy. Everybody's all kinds of confused. So to eliminate this, we just say, okay, let's do the inverses. So I have my whole number of 3. Instead of the division, the opposite is multiplication. And instead of 3/4, I'm going to flip it to 4 over 3. This seems more manageable. Okay? So that's why we do that. Okay? Not a problem. Right? Yep. Now, if you do 75, make sure it's 0.75, Tyler. Okay? Multiply by the reciprocal. Yep, that's how I was taught. But the C before the S, there it is. That's why I do it. It's all about the chicken. Well, maybe not, but sometimes it is. All right. So, I want you for the next one, I want you to round. Let me make it a little bit larger. I want you to round this number, okay? 27 and 534 hundredths. Round it to the nearest whole number. Okay, so I'm seeing a C of D's, 28 D's for your eyes only. Hey, welcome back. You got your D's, user, we got a C. Don't you get bored? You move a little to the right. Okay, so we got all that. So we're going to call for, there we go. 5 is higher, round up. There it is. Okay, well, we know, first off, since it came with a decimal, we're not going to leave with a decimal if we're going to round to the nearest whole number. So right away, we're eliminating A and B. So we need to, if we're going to round to the whole number, we need to look at our 10th spot. 10th with the TH at the end, THS. If it's 5 and above, we're giving it a shove. If it's 4 and below, we're going to leave it alone. All right, so we have a 5. That means I'm going to add 1 to that previous position. So that will give me 28. Okay? Yep, shove that bad boy. That's what I'm talking about. My peoples. All right? So sometimes it's not you're doing pure calculations. They're going to give you like a minute. Let me see. ASAP. ASVAB is like a minute and 10 seconds per question. Okay? They're going to give you roughly that per question. Now, for these type of problems, once you're like, all right, I'm hammering through them. Oh, this is great. This is wonderful. Now, all that extra time that you have, you're going to put it in with the more technical stuff. Okay? So I'm expecting you guys, and they're expecting you, to kind of know some of these. But then once in a while, they'll throw a definition. And you're like, say what? All right. An integer is A, a positive or negative whole number or 0. B, a number that can be divided evenly by itself and by 1, but no other numbers. C, a shorthand method of indicated repeat multiplication. Or D, the number by which another number can be multiplied to produce 1. Okay. All right. I appreciate your honesty. Hey, Bob. All right. So we got a whole bunch of A's. A C of A's. Okay. We got an E, which that's not even an option. That's just put a question mark if you don't know it. It's hilarious. All right. So we got our B's. Okay. Be able to let us know which answer is defining. Yep, I will, Stephanie. Not a problem. All right. Thank you for your honesty with the question mark. There we go. All right. We got our D's and we got some A's. All right. So an integer, if you think about it, it's like a bunch of our number lines. So we have our different types of numbers. We have our counting numbers. You know what you do on your fingers and toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are your counting numbers. Then you have your whole numbers. So you got your 1, you got your 2, you got your 3. Your whole numbers is the 0, then the 1, the 2, the 3. Integers, those are the ones that deal with your negatives, the 0, the whole numbers, plus the positives. So not fractions, not decimals, those are rational numbers. So an integer is actually going to be A. Any positive or negative whole numbers or 0. Now, for B, a number that can be divided evenly by itself or 1, this we're actually looking at, so we got the shorthand indication of multiplication. Okay, we got all that. So a number that can be divided evenly by itself and 1, we're dealing with our, this is prime. And this is just another way of saying prime. And the shorthand is like if I did this with the repeat, the little line over top. So prime numbers are basically numbers multiplied by itself in 1. That's the only way you can get it. They just did with this whole divided to give me that. So prime numbers, the very first prime number. What's the first prime number? You need to know this because they'll slip that in there. Oh, repeat. My brain. Sorry. Repeat multiplication. I read it and it just didn't register. This is like this. Exponents. I read it and for some reason I didn't even see multiplication. Repeat multiplication. Yep, so that would be exponents. So what's the first prime number? Okay, ready? There you go, silly taco. The first prime number is not 1. The first prime number is 2. Okay, if you think about it, we have what's called composite numbers. If you think about it, if I wanted to get 2, I have to multiply 1 times 2. If I wanted to get 3, I have to multiply 1 times 3. If I wanted to get 5, I have to multiply 1 times 5. What is the common theme? Okay, so the common theme is going to be ones. So the 1 is always constantly being used. So it can't be a prime number. So your very first prime number is going to be 2. So that's always something that they throw in, and I think it is with some of the complex numbers. Yep, they'll always ask a prime number or a composite number. Okay. Questions so far? Because that was the easy math ones. Okay, those were the easier math ones. Okay. All right. So a composite number is a number that can be multiplied more than one way. So say 4. 4 can be multiplied by 1 times 4 and 2 times 4. 6. 6 can be multiplied by 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Okay, 18. That can be multiplied by 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. So if you have more factors, that's what's a composite number. A prime number can only be, through multiplication, can only be 1 in itself. Okay. Yes, 0 is an integer. Because negative numbers and 0. So do I post these on the YT? Yes. This one was supposed to be, I don't know what happened, but I think since the computer just went cray-cray, yeah, I'll put this one on there. So if you can't stick around, or if you do, and you just want to, you can go to this YT, go here, and if you can do these 5 things, that will be awesome. Okay. All right. So I know today at 1 o'clock, I will be coming back on. If anything, I want to do a little bit of the medium type questions because it's great. You guys are building up your skills, but I want to show you some of what they will consider a medium type question for the ASVAB, and then we can move on. But I'll be back here at 1 o'clock to help people with college algebra. So today's topic is slope, but then I will definitely be back on at 6 p.m. and I will be working on adding and subtracting fractions. Okay, I do have the list of my schedule on my profile, so you can definitely take a look there. Yeah, not a problem. Thank you for the gifts. I could go 6th grade, but usually I do 7th. But if anything, definitely reach out. Don't cry, Miss Lauren. She's like, college algebra. I'm like, yes, it's okay. All right, it's okay. So, yes, so I basically tutor from 7th grade. It probably depends on the skill set. But if anything, reach out to me. Definitely message me. And if anything, on the very bottom of your screen, I think there's like a Service Plus button. If you click on that, you can actually send me an email. Okay. How am I so good at this? Lots of practice. Plus, I used to be a teacher. Yeah, I'd rather do college algebra than statistics. That's me all day. Because you're lost with college algebra? Okay. Because I really wanted to do like a study group with college algebra, but people are just like, yeah, let's do it. And then when it's time for them to do it, oh no. I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right. So. Aw. From the movie night at school. That's good. All right, so let's do a couple of the medium ones, and then I'm going to wrap this up. If anything, yep, pre-calc. I actually like pre-calc. To a certain degree. Not that AP pre-calc garbage. That can go back to the depths of hell, which it came. I don't know when they brought that out. Just call it calculus. Why? 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 Okay. Okay. So if you guys need help, please do not hesitate. Okay. I know there's some people that are doing like early stages of a nursing program. So if you're in a nursing program, sometimes I just say T's, but I know there's other variations or other combinations of letters of the alphabet. Same thing with GED. A lot of places don't just call it GED. They'll have whatever high school equivalency. That's what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Hey, Janice, how are you? So I'm here to help. Yes, that's a T's exam. Okay. All right, so what is the average of the following? So we have 101, we have 15, 62, 84, and 55. Okay, not a problem. So Jalen's saying it's 63. You don't miss high school? And I think the reason why I'm going to flash up in a moment. The reason why a lot of us say we hate math is because your exposure to it. You didn't have someone that eased you into it. Or you had questions, but you didn't want to be that person that wanted to say, I don't understand, because everybody wanted to go out for recess. And you did not want to be that person. So you kept your mouth shut, and then you just said, you know what, I'm just going to suck it up and just deal with it as I go through. Or someone just told you that, yeah, I suck at math, probably your mom or a father. So I suck at math, so you suck at math. It's not generational, guys. It's not hereditary. It's not something that gets passed on. Okay? Yeah. Okay. What are you doing? Sure. That's interesting. Okay. I didn't see your user. What did you say? Like you're the only person in here. You didn't answer me. You know how many people are in this one? Just you are teaching schools? What are you saying? Just you teaching schools. What's that? I need a little clarification with that one. All right. So let's take a look. 1, it's the average. Okay? The average. Average means the mean. Okay? Remember, everyone says mean, median, mode, and then you start throwing range in there. Range is not a measure of central tendency. It's just your mean, your median, and your mode. So for the mean, the average, that means you're going to have to add all these up. And divide by the number of numbers that you have. I'm going to put my plus sign down here. Okay? So you have to add them all up and then divide by how many numbers that you have. So we had what? 5 numbers. So when you do that, you will get your 63.4. You will get your B. Okay, yep. So you add them up and then divide by how many numbers that you have. So with mean, you don't have to put them in order. That's median. The median is when you're finding the middle. Okay, so that's when you're going to have to put them in order. So if you're just saying average and all of a sudden you're like, oh, let me put them in order, stop. You're going to be wasting time. Just add those bad boys up and then divide by how many numbers that you have. Okay? Now, tell me what my mode is. This should be a quick question. What's my mode? There you go, Kate. Thank you. All right. So KC is saying 47. Hey, Rosette. How are you? Welcome back. Is it Tama saying 47? Kai, 47. Lobes, 47. The middle number user, yes, that's your median. Okay, careful. Who was this? Josen. Okay, careful with the 57. Raja, 47. Same B. There we go. All right, I didn't see that later. Okay. Janice, 47. Mahmood. Okay. Okay, good. Vinny, there we are. Sven, there we are. Wicked Gal, yes. You don't know? Okay. Appreciate your honesty. All right, the number that appears the most. Yes. When it comes to the mode, you want to know which number is repeating itself the most. Okay, there's only one 184. There's two 22s. But 47, that's appearing more. That's your answer. Okay. All right. Okay, so your mode is the most frequent number that's in your list of data. Okay, your mean is your average when you add them up and you divide by the number of numbers. Your median is the middle of your data set, so you have to put them in order and you can count towards the middle. If it's an even number of data set, sometimes you might have to divide. If it's an odd number of data set, you'll find your answer right smack in the middle. Okay? All right. So do you see how I love when people say, oh, it's just a math test, it's not a reading test. No, you're going to have to read it. You're going to have to read it. So if English is a second language is your thing, pick up on your English before you take this exam. Okay? All right, express the ratio of 48 privates to 2 drill sergeants. What would that look like? A, B, C, or D? Okay, we got Mama C, we got an A, we got some C's, we got jumping with C's, Mary A, Kalo C, Rosette C. Okay, we have a symbol. Oh, we have Ray with a C. Okay, user, not sure. Thank you for your honesty. Is that Grub with a C? Maya C. Okay, I hate pugs. C. Rub A. Godfather C. Miss Lauren A. Sven C. Trying to see. Ashley C. Well, Mr. from another Mister is A. Jocelyn C. Jocelyn A. Okay, right fam, C or B. User C. Okay, not sure. C feels easy, but it must be. Okay, all right. 24 to 1. Okay, you're doing too much. All right. Keep it simple. All they're asking is for the ratio, just to set it up. Now, ratios could be fractions. Ratios can be shown as column with a colon. They are not asking. They're asked for 8 privates, 2, that's the other one, to 2 drill sergeants. Notice the privates comes before the drill sergeants. Keep it in that pattern. So that's why, boom, A's not it, B's not it. So the only one that's giving me 4 to 2 is C. Okay? You're keeping it in that same pattern. All right? We got to keep it in that same pattern. If you reduce it, to 24 ones, which one of them has a 24 first and then the one following? It's a good question, because you could. 24 to 1 is the same, but where is there 24 to 1? I see a 1 to 24. That's not the same. This is saying there's 1 private to 24 drill sergeants. Okay, none of them up there. So if you reduce, what does 48 and 2 have in common? That will be 2. So that means if I divide this 48 by 2, and if I divide that 2 by 2, I would get my 24 to 1. But there was only a 1 to 24. So whatever comes first, that's the first part of the colon. Whatever follows, that's the second. So this one is saying 1 private to 24 drill sergeants. This is saying 2 privates to 48 drill sergeants. This is our 48 privates to 2 drill sergeants, and this is 48 privates to 1 drill sergeant. Okay? So it always comes. That's the one thing about math. There's always have patterns. Okay, we always have patterns. All right. There's always have patterns. Okay, we always have patterns. All right. All right. Let's see if we can get 2 more in, and then I'm going to shut down for a moment. And then I'll be back up. Oh, man. Yes, mode is the most common number. Yes, it is. All right. So now, if the scale on a military map is 1 inch to 1,000, I don't know who Donna is. Okay, to 1,000 kilometers, how many inches represent 4,500 kilometers? See, you don't dislike math. I think the reason why you dislike it is because how it was presented and how it makes you feel. You feel like, oh, I don't get it, so I'm dumb. You're not dumb. You just need more time to process. That's what it is. Come, stick around. Okay, hello, if you know you're special. Okay, so user, I got an A. Ray, A. Yeah, girl, A. Ross, A. Limited, A. Pog, A. Godfather, A. Anthony, you like math. Thank you. All right, Sunshine, A. Okay, Vinny, A. Thanks so much for the follows, everyone. Choice, A. Okay, wait, A. All right. What is this test for? My 4th grader is doing this. True, ASVAB. Okay, building up some of those ASVAB skills. So this is like the way that they figure out who stays, who doesn't. Okay, can you proceed on? So it's that first part. If you have the qualifications. Yeah, I know. I've had them too. All right, so we got a whole sea of A. Go back 3 what time are you coming back on today? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Eastern. So roughly about an hour. Just have to go and take care of some things. All right, so here we go. We are going, every time there's a comparison, you do a proportion. Okay, what a proportion is. Remember we talked about ratios up here? A proportion is 2 ratios that are going to be equivalent. So we have 1 inch represents our 1,000 kilometers. Okay, so on that military map, 1 inch equals 1,000 kilometers. So they want to know how many inches, so that's what we're looking for, that'll be our unknown, is representing 4,500 kilometers. Okay, some people are visual. Some people will be like, well, let's take a look. I know that these zeros I can cancel, these zeros I can cancel, and what I have left over is 45 over 10. Notice I was able to make it smaller. Because if you did cross multiplication, let me back up for a second. Let me get the people in the back to the front. You know what I'm saying? If I cross multiplied, I would have 1,000 x is equal to 4,500. And if I wanted to divide both sides by 1,000, I notice that these two zeros can cancel out. These two zeros can cancel out. Okay, I can get rid of the zeros. And what's left is 45 divided by 10. So if I want to do 45 divided by 10, remember, anything divided by a 10, all you have to do is just create a decimal and move it one spot to the left. So when you do that, you get your answer of A, which is 4.5. Yep, so the 4,500 should be on the top to cancel out. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so here's my thing, Oscar. Some people are visual. All right, you learn your way, other people learn another way. There's no superior race, okay? Appreciate you. So, yeah, don't worry. We're all doing good, people. We're all doing great. Okay, don't know how to divide? Well, here's my thing. We did that last night. And I did up it. So if anything, if you go here, all of my recordings, except for the ones that I'm doing for subscribers, but all of my other recordings from February 2nd is here. So if you need a place to go to get some extra practice, maybe get some more explanation, okay, you can go there. It's going to take some time for this to come up because I'm not going to be able to touch this until later on this evening, okay? But it'll be up by tomorrow. All right? Okay. Thank you, Swen. True. Sometimes, Vinny. You're putting this so nicely. All it tells me that I'm like, I am growing dramatically because, I mean, all the trolls are coming to me like, wow, love it. All right. 4 years ago, we're probably the same. All right, so I will be, I know, right? Give a little love, but this is a place. I just want you to, like, understand and be able to break concepts down, okay? So let's do one more. All right, thank you so much for subscribing to that. Now, I also have a subscription here because eventually a lot of these lives, I have what's called a deep dive where I go even further with some of the concepts. Now, if you know their basic skills are really much of a struggle and you need, like, say, maybe a course, I also offer courses as well. Okay, so let's just keep all those things in mind. And let's do one more, and then I'm going to have to skedaddle from this live. But I'll be back on at 1 o'clock, which is less than 57 minutes, I think. I'm trying to look at my clock, but it's kind of hard right now. Something's in the way of it, called a cat. Okay. Patiently looking at me like, when are we going to eat? All right, so 15. How many miles per gallon does a military truck get if you drive 300 miles on 12 gallons of gas? So how many miles per gallon does a military truck get if you drive 300 miles on 12 gallons of gas? Okay. Yes, linear inequalities are there. Plus, the interval notation is there. She's like, I'm really having problems with this linear inequalities. I'm about to lose my mind. Yes, there are videos about that there as well. It's okay. All right. So I'm seeing a whole sea of B's. I'm seeing a whole sea of B's, B's, B's. And then Johnny with my 25. Thank you. Okay. Did you divide? Yes. Okay. Not sure? Okay. We have a whole bunch of B's. Management and science operations. Eric, you by yourself, babe. Yeah, you by yourself. There's got to be someone out there for you. It's just not me. It's not me. David, two. David, 2. 25. Thank you, David. All right. Now, here we go. So all of a sudden we have that. Notice they did it like this. Miles per gallon. That means you have to keep it in that same framework. All right. So if we're doing miles per gallon, that means we have our miles is in the numerator. The first word that you see will be in the numerator, and the bottom is your denominator. Okay. So you have to keep it in the same pattern. So that's why it's going to be the 300 divided by 12. Okay. So you want to say, all right, how many 12s can go into 30? Well, 2. So right away, C and D is not it. So now we're minimizing it. So you got your 24. 30 minus 24 gives me 60. How many 12s can go into 60? 5. Okay. Notice you do the process of elimination. It will make your life so much better. So improved, lightened. Because when you get rid of 2 options, and sometimes you can get rid of all 3 and get your answer. But by doing that whole process of elimination, that'll be all. All right, Vinny, thanks. See you later. I'm actually going to... Right, it's that easy. Okay? So, as you guys are here, just in case you want to know, yes, I do have a subscription. I will be including subscription-only lives soon, but I will be back on again today in less than 55 minutes. I'm going to be working on slope, okay? So, the rise, the run, algebraically, all right? Looking at some of these word problems, looking at some of these situations that all deals with slope. So, if you like it, come on back. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit the subscription, because this was supposed to be a subscription-only one, but I don't know what happened. Computers just went all kinds of kookaboo Johnson. But I'm glad that you guys all stopped by. All right? So, go ahead and follow me. Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the likes and the taps. I'll greatly give you... Oh, I'm a gift. Thank you. Okay, and your daughter too? We're going to make this a family affair. Look, we get some tutoring. I don't have to pay that much for. Sit your butt down. We learning math together, baby. That's it. You guys crack me up. All right, so if anything, I will see you guys later on today. Again, if you want any of the replays, this one is going to have to come on like later on, because I still have tons of stuff that I have to do before my live. And the other thing, if you want any tutoring, I definitely do one-to-one, and I do small group tutoring. And if you want courses, if you want something that's going to be slow and paced, be able to break down concepts, that is going to be covering the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer. If you're my T's people and you're still struggling with some of, say, fractions and probability and everything else, you want to go into the Foundations of Algebra course. Okay, so right now the Foundation of Algebra course is 147. When October 1st hits, it's going to go right back up to my 197. So save a little bit of cashola if you do need. And I do have books that are for sale, but I will show you those at my 1 o'clock. All right, so that is it. So I will say goodbye and farewell for right now, and I'll see you in roughly 50 minutes. Okay? Have an amazing day, everyone. Take care.